Hi, welcome to the Brief Book Reviews channel, otherwise known as An Old Guy Reviews the book that he's read this week. What's the old guy read this week? Well, the book I read this week is this one. It's called In the Shadows by author Chris Macdonald. Publishes a hardback here in the UK on the 5th of February 2026 by Michael Joseph. And at the top level, it's a murder mystery set in the pop rock scene of the 1970s. So the mystery, if you will, goes way back into a property in Chelsea in 1977. Rock icon Nereus Forbes is found dead behind a locked door in his place at One Cheyne Walk. The verdict is suicide. He's full of heroin, and it's just assumed that he's taken an overdose. There is drug paraphernalia all over the place, so it's assumed it's a suicide. The whispers are, it's not. It's a murder, and in this day and age, there are whole communities on Reddit, on forums, who are speculating about the death of Nereus Forbes. His former bandmate and former friend Graham Harris his Jaguar was spotted outside his house about an hour before the time of death. A mystery woman who was banging on the windows. There's all sorts of theories going around. And the daughter of Graham Harris, former bandmate, Winter Harris, decides that she is going to try and put this to bed and find out exactly what happened. So decades later, after that dreadful event, she's still haunted by the rumours that are abound on the internet that her father Graham was to blame, i.e. he was the murderer. So she decides to delve into the dark world of 70s rock and full of fame, envy, betrayal, and find out what's going on. So that essentially is the tale. We go back to the 70s where Graham Harris, working class lad from Whitby, him and a couple of mates have a group. They go to London to seek fame and fortune. They're introduced to a guy called Nereus Forbes. Neil's totally different to Graham, but they get on well together. Neil's come from Greece. He hadn't really known his father. His mother's very arty, very intellectual. So they're chalk and cheese, but they get on really well together. Neil becomes more and more outrageous, outlandish, and you can wonder, who that character is based on. But elegant costumes, outrageous costumes, flaunting his the fact that he's bisexual. But they are a commercial success, and Neil becomes Nereus, and the character of Nereus was a titan who had dominion over the seas, and it just popped into Neil's head that Nereus sounded better than Neil. So Neil Forbes becomes Nereus Forbes and becomes a rock icon. The group is actually called Nereus Forbes and the Satyrs. So that's the tale. So we have Winter, Graham Harris's daughter, picking away and trying to, she joins, online communities, Reddit groups, and gradually, bit by bit, she begins to find a few things that just don't sit right. The problem is that as she finds a few things that don't sit right, she suddenly realises that she's being followed, and it appears that somebody somewhere doesn't want her delving into the past and finding out the truth behind Nereus Forbes' demise. And that, in essence, is the tale. Now, for those who like their murder mysteries with lots of twists and turns and lots of action, this probably isn't for you. It's almost, in ways, it's an homage to 1970s rock. And we have tales of, treachery, betrayal, dodgy agents, dodgy contracts, people double-crossing each other to try and better themselves, and the whole world of 70s rock, which produced some great music, but also behind the scenes there was lots of dodgy dealings going on. So that in itself is a good read. I guess it's 369 pages. It's a relatively easy. It's well written, but there's probably more of an emphasis on the 70s rock scene than the murder mystery. And we do have some twists at the end where the person responsible, the person who you think it is, may not be the person who actually did the deed. But so my review, I guess, is it's an okay read. It is well written, but it's not a out and out murder mystery. Lots of action, lots of twists and turns, lots of side stories. It's more, a biography of what happened in the 70s, and Winter's quest to unravel the truth about what happened to Nereus. So, not the greatest murder mystery I've read all year, but a decent effort and well worth a read. So I think that's it for this week's brief book review. Thanks for watching. 10:10 till we do it again. Bye.